pessimistic about the way that things are going.
So I never ever think of it at all.
Don't you ever worry when you see what's going down.
Well, I'm trying to mind my business, that is no business at all.
Let's back up to late 1966 or early 1967. A bunch of 12-year-old 6th graders were being coached by Mr. Solis at Shirley Hills Elementary School in Mound, Minnesota. Coach Solis announced that the varsity basketball coach would be coming to talk to us. And who should walk through the door? Coach John Blomlie. I recall that Don Farman, John Grunmeyer, and I were 3 of the 12-year-olds. Coach Blomlie said that if we worked hard at learning the game, that we had the potential to play in the state basketball tournament when we were seniors. Flash forward 6 years, and that 6th grade class is now the 1973 senior class. The Mound-Westonka Mohawks boys varsity basketball team is about to make their mark in Mound athletic history. We had a warm-up song by the band Chicago and a slogan of, "Together we can make it happen." The song always got the players and fans fired up. Let's introduce the team. First row left to right, Terry Seaman, Eric England, tri-captains Lee Erickson, John Luce, and John Grunmeyer, Jerry Gibbs, Lowell Anderson, and Mike Lindquist. Middle row left to right, Coach John Blomlie, Steve Gray, Blake Verville, Dave Kanan, Daryl Guyan, Bruce Erickson, Brad Chapman, Brad Soames, and junior varsity and assistant varsity coach Grant Trygstad. Back row left to right, student manager Tim Ekdahl, Larry Dale, Mark Wommeldorf, Bob Bartkowski, Buck Wickland, Ted Westerdahl, Dana Oas, and student manager Dan Moss. The basketball cheerleaders were front row Monica Phillips, middle row left to right Linda Ames, Debbie Mahoney, and Lupe Macias. Back row left to right Nancy Meyer and Leslie Chabot. The seniors on this 1973 team had experienced the 53-50 heartbreaking loss to Howard Lake in the region finals the previous year. Forward Ken Heitz and guard Craig Kullberg had graduated and left big shoes to fill. There were very high expectations for this team. I still remembered Coach Blomlie's speech to some of us 6th graders. The tri-captains, John Luce, John Grunmeyer, and Lee Erickson, were ready to lead the team. The starting 5 usually consisted of those 3 players, along with juniors Terry Seaman and Jerry Gibbs. Other players rotated in and out as the situation warranted. Mound started the season ranked 25th in the state, as shown here with a 1-0 record. Windham was 5th. Remember that school name, it will come up again later. The season was moving along well with a 9-3 record at this point. Remember that Mound was playing in the tough Lake Conference at that time. A loss to Edina West is the topic of this newspaper article, where Coach Blomlie makes no excuses. At about this time, Mound was ranked 22nd in the state with a record of 6-2. Windham had now moved up to a rank of 2nd in the state with a perfect 8-0 record. And the little school of Chisholm was now tied for 25th. Remember that school name too. With 5 more wins and 3 more losses, Mound owned a record of 14-6 heading into the District 17 and 18 competition. Under the 2-tiered system at that time, Mound would be competing in the small school division, Class A. Mound easily handled Marshall U in the first game of the District 17-18 competition, coming away with a 55-43 victory. Mound then dominated Eden Prairie with a 58-39 victory. The Mound Mohawks were now the District 17-18 champs. We were off to Hollenbeck Hall in St. Cloud to play in the Region 5 championships. The town was abuzz. Everyone was talking about the basketball team. Players, coaches, and student managers all found large signs on the front doors. Signs were everywhere. A group of students ran from Mound to St. Cloud in a torch relay to show support for the team. The runners included John Sandness, Bill Fox, Jordan Lawrence, Dwight Hibbard, Greg Sickinator, Steve Gordon, Tracy Hawley, Connie Benioff, Mary Barrett, Lori Maxwell, and Dan Fries. Mound won the first Region 5 game against Buffalo 49-48. This was not going to be easy. Mound then beat Albany in another close game, 52-48. The Mound-Westonka Mohawks were now the Region 5 champs. There was lots of celebrating. Remember, Mound had never played in the state basketball tournament in its history, ever. It was a big deal in town. We would be playing in the barn, Williams Arena on the University of Minnesota campus in Minneapolis. Our first game on Thursday night would be against Windham, the team that was ranked in the top 5 in the state all season long. The fans were ready, the cheerleaders were ready, everyone was wearing their "Raw and We Can Make It Happen" buttons. After a hard-fought battle, the mighty Mohawks were victorious, beating Windham 58-53. Next up on Friday night were the Chisholm Blue Streaks, and that they were. 3 McDonald boys, coached by their father, made up the core of an incredibly fast team whose speed the Mohawks could not handle. The Mohawks came out on the short end of that one, 70-44. Determined to go home with some hardware, the Mohawks decisively defeated Brooklyn Center on Saturday night, 60-44. Chisholm ended up winning the Class A championship and then defeated the Class AA champion, Anoka, for the overall title. Enjoy the celebration, some Blomlie-isms, and other memorabilia.
We can make it happen. Yeah, we can make it happen.